In this podcast, we share some of the challenges and difficulties in life. Content may include open dialogue about topics such as suicide, depression, feeling lost or alone, anxiety, addiction struggles, homophobia, and descriptions of bullying experiences.
Okay, we're on our podcast again, The Comfort Zone. This week we have a very new friend we just met months and months ago, and we connected right away. So we want to introduce her to you. But hello, Cynthia.
Hello everyone.
Hello, Connor.
Hello.
Okay, and then our new guest is Jennifer.
Hi, you guys. Thank you for having me here.
Now, Jennifer, we met you at a little small bar where everybody socializes and everything. And I guess we were talking about the podcast, and then you got an interest, and that's how it all started.
We weren't sitting exactly close to each other, but then we started talking over people, and then we just talked, and then other people left, so then we moved closer. We kind of started to communicate and talk and just connected. So.
And then Jennifer heard part of my story, and then you got interested in that, and then we became friends. So that's why we wanted to bring a new friend on our podcast and experience her life, and her stories are what she wants to talk about. And it's her freedom, it's her life. And that's what this podcast is about, is just sharing
And when we met
your good parts, your bad parts, just whatever.
And when we met you, though, you had just moved back from New York. So you're originally from this area. Well, we're in California, but you'd moved to New York.
Correct.
For school. And then you'd worked there, and went to school, and then you came back here. So that's what the journey that it's to move across the country is a lot, because I know I did that myself. So.
And what age did you move to New York?
I moved to New York when I was 20.
20? Yeah,
Yes.
that's on your own. That was scary.
Yes, I had to get away. So I felt the need, and I had been planning it for a while prior to that, and I made it happen.
Did you have a hard time finding a job at first, or
I
a
went-
place to live? Because it's real expensive to live there.
It is. It is, and it's gotten
Especially
worse.
just a one-bedroom flat. I mean, it's just, you couldn't even afford to buy it.
Correct. So I have family there, and that helped a lot with that transition.
Good. That was good.
Thankfully.
Where's your family in New York?
Where?
Where in New York?
In Harlem, in Spanish Harlem.
Spanish Harlem, okay.
Yes, on the
okay.
east side of the city.
And what family was it? Aunts, uncles?
An
or?
aunt.
An aunt, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
she, isn't the closest, but she was there and she offered to help.
She was receptive.
She was receptive.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Is she on your mom's side or your
On my
dad's
mom's side.
Mom's side, okay.
Yeah, and I was there for about a year, I want to say, but then I moved on and I moved elsewhere.
Yeah.
What made you want to go to New York from California in the first place? Was it school, or what else was the drive? Was there a drive there? Was there a person, or just?
It was also just getting away further, far away from my negative situation
Relatives.
that I had here.
Negative relatives.
Yes, negative relatives, toxicity.
Okay.
So I definitely wanted to get away, and I felt New York is a far place to go. Mm-hmm. And I also, applied to go to NYU, and I got accepted. So I'm like, okay, so let's do this.
Well, in a way, it sounds like it was probably your destiny, or something that you were driven to go to, and then you discover that you can build a life there.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah.
I was there for about 16 years.
16 years old.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to come back to California or Riverside?
I had a breakup there, and I felt I needed a change. And at the same time, I felt that my parents are getting older, and I wanted to
Be in their lives
be
again.
in their
Be
lives
close. Yeah.
to see if anything has changed.
Do you want to say if it has changed or hasn't changed? Do you want to talk about that or
It's
no?
changed in a different way,
Okay.
and not necessarily for the better,
Okay.
but I had to find out.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So I did. And
Especially for the I factor, you needed to know where you stand. So,
Exactly.
and that's what this podcast is about: standing up for yourself and being driven to do you first, and then accept everything else.
correct.
Yeah, so,
Definitely.
yeah.
And, things were getting a little violent in New York, I felt like. Crime was increasing. I saw the difference myself. Other people did
But
not.
if you don't mind me asking, what year did you move to New York and you went to Harlem? What year was that?
That was 2005.
Okay.
I moved there, and then I graduated
So
2007.
did you stay in that area, or in other parts of New York, did you move to, or?
Yes. So I mainly stayed in Harlem for, I want to say, 4 years. So
Okay.
I was in Spanish Harlem, then Black Harlem, which is on the west side.
Okay.
And so I split the time between those. After that, I moved to Queens, which is a different borough. And then lastly, I moved to Brooklyn, which was my favorite borough. And I stayed there for about 10 years.
See, you actually grew from area to area to area, and
Correct.
so
It was fun. Yeah, I miss it now, but I go and visit.
it's sounds like I want to say I'm proud of you because you've grown and grown and grown into a beautiful person, because we well know.
Thank you,
So
Cal. So sweet.
But anyways, going back to the breakup, so you were there, you transferred around to the different boroughs, and Brooklyn, I love Brooklyn. I've only been there a couple times. I've never lived there. But then you went through a breakup, and then you're thinking at a certain point in your life, my parents, we had some issues when I was younger, and I moved out of there. But I want to go back. This might be the right time to do that. That must have been a big process, though. Like,
Oh, for sure.
going through all of that in your mind, like,
Yes, I had
because
to.
it's not just a breakup. You can go anywhere with a breakup, but it's going back home.
Correct, correct. There was a lot happening in my mind, and it felt good, to analyze the situation, get older, evolve as a human being, the processes of life. So, yes, that was my experience.
and can I ask you, what is your profession?
I am a dental hygienist.
And were you that person in New York?
Correct.
I was
Yeah.
wondering why her teeth were so nice.
Honor. And I just recently got my license here in California, so I'm excited.
Yeah, you
about
just
that.
recently graduated from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it happened real quick, though.
Yes, it took a while. California is a little funny with
But it was
those
a difficult process or quick, well, because she had to get her license from New York to California, so you had to go
Yes,
through
it
that.
should be easy, but it's not. They don't make it easy for
They have different standards and different rules
So
and
they
laws.
say.
So yeah, I got you. So they say, but it's about
money.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's about money, right? It's about
Correct.
money. Yes, and you
Yes.
have to pay these. Okay, but how long would that process take you?
It took me 2 years.
2 years.
2
for that
years?
process? Wow. And you already had your license and been working in New York for all that time. You
Correct.
Come to
And-
California.
So when I would travel to New York, I visited a few offices that I used to work at, and I worked there while I was visiting to just have a little bit of cash in my pocket.
Sure.
So I wasn't able to practice here. So that, I'm still keeping my New York license because it's not
You should.
the
Yeah,
easiest
yeah,
to get.
most definitely. Yeah.
Correct.
In case you get the desire to go back there.
Exactly. Yes, I want to live by coastal.
In case we want to have a place to go and visit.
Exactly,
Come on.
of course.
Now, are you
Always
an only
invited.
child, or do you have siblings?
In a sense, I'm an only child, the only child of both my parents, but I have a half brother on my father's side.
And do you see your brother, half brother, or
No,
no?
he went missing when I was, I want to say 8 or 9.
Oh, that's sad. That's sad.
Yeah.
That's very sad.
His mother took him away to Mexico, so he was on the list of the missing and exploited children. And so I
So
haven't
how old
seen
was he
him.
when he?
I want to say he was about 5.
About 5.
He was 4 or 5.
That's sad. I'm sorry I brought
Very
that up.
sad. I have a picture of him.
You did?
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll show you guys next time.
Okay. Well, you can't show when you're talking, so.
Not to the audience.
So, do you have any questions for us, or?
Not that I can think of, but I'm excited to be part of this journey with you guys. This
I
is
just,
thank you,
I
thank
want to know, but oh, sorry. Oh, she wants questions for us. Okay. I want to still ask her questions.
because
I
because
still have some questions to ask here.
no, because we've always asked her questions, and she's asked us questions. That's why I was asking if you wanted to ask us questions.
I appreciate that.
I'm starting to feel real comfortable about doing the podcast. Connor says that we're getting better and better, and
Every episode, yep.
every episode. But you know the best time? We were on, what's it?
Medium podcast.
Yeah,
The Medium podcast.
Medium podcast. And they interviewed us for what we're doing.
Oh, really?
And God, we had such an amazing, fun time. It was just like, we knew each other for years and years and years.
Yeah,
It was
Melissa
just-
had a really good time
yeah,
too.
it was.
did,
yeah.
we did.
Yeah. But Connor is the catalyst that made this happen.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
How did that begin?
Her, Cynthia.
Me.
Cynthia, okay.
Yeah, they wanted to start a podcast, and I've known Cynthia for a little bit now because she used to come to the bar that I worked at.
Okay.
And we became friends through that and known her for a minute. And then she saw that I was doing a podcast for another friend and like co-hosting that. And they wanted to start one, so she reached out to me to see if I would help them out.
That's amazing.
And the answer was yes, I will.
Wonderful.
But we gave Connor an offer. Says, okay, you want to be a producer and a director, so why don't you do that for our podcast? And if any like income comes in or whatever, 20, 20, 20, and 40% goes to charity.
I love that. Okay.
That way, there's
Very
no
generous.
conflict of interest. There's no, it's my show or this show, or you just can't take ownership of it. You just share it.
Correct. Correct.
So that's our purpose.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful purpose. I like it. There's a contract and all?
Well, no, we got too many verbal statements of saying that they can't prove it.
Oh, I see.
I'm taking them to court pretty soon.
But
We'll have too many witnesses.
can I go back for a minute before we end up closing out? So
sure.
I know Connor could probably edit stuff a little differently, but I just want to ask you, Jennifer, because when we talked about when you went to New York and what was going on with your family, and you just needed a change, and then you had a change there, and then you came back here. So we didn't really talk about how you were able to receive this new place with your family. And you said it was not exactly what you expected. It was. I'm not going to put words in your mouth,
Remind me, though. Yeah, so.
but you said it was not exactly what you thought. It might have been a little bit not as good as you were hoping for something different.
Correct. I would
Okay.
say that. I guess we always aspire for a bit more in life, you know?
Okay, can I ask you? Okay, my difficulty was because of religion and who I was and who I came out to be, and I was pretty much disowned or
That's
told I wish you were never born and all those issues. And it's all about the deep rooted religious in the Bible Belt. And that's where my family's from. So
Yes.
that's the negativity that they had on myself. And that put me into the suicidal world. And I had to get out of that, and I found the person to get that out of me. So,
I'm glad you
but
did.
no, but you're very strong as a woman because you took it upon yourself to do it yourself to get out of your situation.
Lots of therapy.
Yeah, lots of therapy.
So let's hear about like I said, when you, if you want to talk about when you made the decision to come back, because I don't think when people make, I don't know, I'm not going to speak for you, but sometimes when you make a decision, you don't always know everything. But when you enter into that decision space that you've already made, then you're like, okay, wow, and you recognize things.
Correct.
So I'm not know if you
No,
want to speak
keep
about
going.
that or not. It's okay.
I'm trying to understand the question, but I did move in with a family member here in Riverside, which I guess the location wasn't ideal for me. You know, I definitely wanted something a bit busier, more culture, maybe closer to LA, stuff like that. But she was willing to help. Therefore, I appreciated that, and it helped me a lot. So yeah, I've tried
But
to make the best of it.
I guess, I'm sorry, my question maybe wasn't like, but when you arrived here, because you made a decision to come here, and then you received whatever you received, like, and how's that transpired to what you thought that you were coming to? Because I think we all do that. We all have things that we think that we're going to get this or go there, and then how do we respond to what we actually receive? And I know you mentioned your family wasn't quite there, but
I'm sorry, I don't. Maybe my parents or.
yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. Don't worry. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
No. If you don't want to tell any part of yourself, there's no obligation. It's what you feel comfortable saying and what
Yeah.
you feel comfortable with. I mean, we're not. This is not a scripted show. It's just like being personable.
Yeah.
So.
Or if there's somewhere a different way you want to word it.
No. You just mentioned when you came back, you didn't receive the.
I think she's trying to find out what was the difficulty when you came back. Was it acceptance or not acceptance, or was it?
It was a little bit of both. It was weird. It was like the territory. We weren't sure how to act with each other, so we were still analyzing the situation a bit. So it's a bit of back and forth. And so every time we did speak, they always took that opportunity to quote me a Bible text, tell me about their church and how I should go.
So it's built around religion again.
Basically.
It's a purpose of you're wrong, we're right.
Correct. And when are you going to come back?
Yep.
And so still to this day, my mother this morning sent me a scripture without saying, "Good morning, how are you, my daughter?" So it's just, I don't know if we can curse.
Okay, no.
You can curse. Yes,
Okay,
you can
you
curse.
actually came back because
curse.
no, you came back because you knew your parents were getting older and you wanted to be closer to them,
Correct.
and they still gave you the same world that they gave you when you left.
Correct.
So, in a way, that probably hurt you more because they didn't change.
Yes, it did. It was like another beat down in a sense, you know?
You gave him a second chance, and
Yeah. But then I got myself up.
Yeah,
I'm
you
like, I'm
sure
not gonna
did.
let this get me down. I still have my life to live, and so I've thankfully been able to do that.
But in a way, because of what happened to you when you were younger and what happened to you when you're now, but you're a very, very strong woman.
Thank you.
Very
Carl.
strong.
Coming from you, that means a lot.
Yeah, very strong woman.
Thank you.
But we also recognized that, didn't we?
because he's a very strong woman himself. So watch out.
We know our women well.
Well, you know, Cynthia and her other half is like amazing people to me because they help bring in the laughter in my life. Because with my other half, Bob, he was my personal comedian. He made me laugh every single day. every single day.
that's great for
and
your health.
even if we would fight, he would make me laugh. He would eventually make me laugh. So that's amazing. So when he passed away, I lost that, and then COVID happened, and so when I met Cynthia and her other half, oh my God, I just like attached to him like a magnet.
It was
And then I'm going, I am this, what year? What was it like?
You were born in 1837, I think
Well,
so.
no, I'm trying to think about how many years ago did we connect?
What was after
I want to say
Bob?
about 5.
Bob passed away.
6.
So it was really
Well,
like
Bob passed away, and it was probably a year and a half.
About a year out, around
And
a year after
then
that.
David brought me out and kept me socialized.
Mm-hmm.
David from the menagerie, the owner of the menagerie, and he did that. So,
So what, about 7 years?
No, it's probably been less than that.
yeah, probably less than that. But it's the connection, just like what we got with you. So it's a connection. It's
Yes.
it's an honest conversation every single time we get together.
Exactly. Therefore, it's good to get out. And I've told myself I'm not just going to stay home and be miserable.
Yeah.
I'm going to meet with people in my community, have laughs,
Yeah.
have drinks, have fun,
Yeah. Yeah.
have communication,
Yeah.
have water or juice. Whatever you think. I don't know.
Red Bull. Have some Red
There
Bull.
we go. Sugar-free.
He needs energy to keep going the way he keeps going. He's got
so
so many
young,
things
though.
in the pocket.
So many
see?
Thank you for
Projects,
saying
yeah.
that I'm young.
You're not?
I'm 31.
Yeah, that's young.
I'm young, yeah, I'm young.
Sure. We're all young.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, it's a baby teaching old farts how to run a podcast.
That's how it is these days.
All right. This is just a little funny story. We went out for lunch yesterday. We had to go get chicken feed in Norco at the Tractor Supply.
Chicken feet?
Chicken feed. Yeah.
Did you buy some more chickens?
No. Sure, you wanted to, but they're little. No. I said no, but they're so cute.
they're
It's
like,
okay. He can edit out. It's okay. They're little, so cute little bit. And I'm like, she's like, huh? No.
Oh.
But we have, so when we get the chicken feed, but before that, we were like, okay, let's have some lunch, and we had a drink. And the guys, like, next to us, they were having shots, they were drinking. We're like, okay, I just gotta go get some chicken food over here, okay? And the one guy was like flirting, not because I'm all that hot, because he's drunk.
Cynthia, what
He's
are you
drunk.
talking about?
And I said, listen, you're barking up the wrong tree, and I know, see, you already know I'm old when I say that saying.
That's not true.
No. And I said, I could be your mommy.
You didn't say that.
Yeah, I said I could be your mommy. And he said, well, I could be your daddy.
Oh, you walked into that one.
You're right.
You won't be using that anymore.
No, I'm like, he got me. I'm like, I want to see me. I'm not mad. I'm happy. I'm like, well, I could be your mommy, but you're too young for me. He's like, well, I could be your daddy. I'm like, oh, dang. Okay.
Well,
you are very handsome, so.
There are those young ones that do like older people,
That's what we should talk about.
So, but yeah. Oh, she's made of money.
I've been looking at younger folks lately.
Oh, see.
Yeah. You know, figuring things out, something different.
And Cynthia, you are beautiful.
Thank you.
You're all
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
I could be
And
your,
that should all be matter because they don't tell you lies.
I could be your granddaughter.
Yeah, you could. I am so
I'm messing
fucking old. I'm just so fucking old.
No, everywhere we go a lot of places, and they're like, "Is that?" Because we both have blue eyes, and they're like, "Is that your dad?" And for the longest time, I kept saying, "No, he's my friend." And finally, I'm just like, "Yes, that's my dad. That's my daddy.
It's easier.
That's my dad. That's fine. Yeah, that's my dad."
But Okay, Jennifer, what's your thought about being on this podcast now? Because you had reservations, and we told you that we're open to your conversation, but notice I still talk, but...
No, which I appreciate. That's wonderful. I'm glad to be part of this experience. It's my first time to actually be part of a podcast that is official. And I've always thought about it and doing it myself. So this is great. I love it.
Well, have you thought about doing a podcast about teeth hygiene and...
Not necessarily.
No, not about your profession or
No,
anything?
about like dating and
Dating,
people's
and,
sex lives and stuff like that.
Sure.
Something more spicy.
A little more spicy.
Spicier than teeth.
Oh, so we like spiciness.
Yes, spicy.
Cal's like doing dental hygiene, and you're like, no, I'm
I'm
about
like, what?
sex life. Dating and sex. Come on.
But there's probably more and more of those podcasts talking about that
Correct.
than there are about the subject matters we talk about.
Correct.
So.
You mean the dental or the
No,
sex
I'm saying the sexual and dating and dating
Yeah.
and but the only thing you put into that is put yourself out there. But it has to be truth, because there are so many fact finders out there. They will search and search and search
Yeah.
to find you lying.
Exactly.
And that is their purpose.
So yeah, podcasters put themselves out there and they make themselves, vulnerable.
Well, yeah.
But it's beautiful.
Just telling the story.
Yeah.
Your own story. And
Yes, exactly. That's what people want to hear.
And believe it or not, everybody has a story to tell.
Everybody.
Whether there's a good story or a bad story, they have a story to tell. Whether you're a good person or a bad person, you have a story to tell.
especially Cal. A lot of stories. A lot of stories.
Do you think you've
Well,
heard
stop
all the
asking
stories?
me questions and you won't hear them.
Cynthia, do you feel as though you've heard all of Cal's stories by now?
I've heard, most of them, yes. But I
Most
love
of
them, so. But
there's still a few new ones to come.
well, they pop out here and there.
God.
Usually I'm like bored. I'm just like. Connor is kicking me under the table. Pay attention. Pay attention. But I don't pay attention, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I haven't heard that before. Well, let me listen.
But you still haven't heard a lot of stories.
Oh,
What?
you see? Wow.
Yeah.
Lots more to come. I love that.
Don't threaten
You've
me
lived
like
a
that.
good life.
Don't threaten
It's
me.
not a threat. I'll deliver when I deliver.
That's hilarious.
Well, thank you, Jennifer, for being here. Of course, our beautiful Connor and Cal. We love Cal. And he's the reason that we started this podcast. So
I love that.
he wanted to tell his story. So
Yeah.
And we
It's a group
tried-
effort.
I don't know if we told you, but we tried. We do talk about this a million times, but we tried a million times to do the podcast ourselves. We thought we were
Prior.
Oh, no,
Yes.
no. Okay. We were talking for a year about doing the podcast. And then all of a sudden I said, okay, we're going to do the podcast. We're going to go to Guitar
Guitar
Center.
Guitar Center. I was going to say store. But anyway, so we went there and we got an expert that knows all the equipment and everything and said, we're going to start a podcast. So get all the stuff together, and
You guys.
then I bought it.
Okay.
I bought it.
What did we
What
purchase
happened
right
next?
there?
Yep, the
We bought
Roadcaster.
the Roadcaster.
Pro 2.
The Roadcaster 2. We bought the Roadcaster 2.
Who was
Right.
trying to play with it?
Well, play with it. We were trying to be professionals, but we didn't know what we're doing. That's why we had to get Connor.
After we went through all these recording, losing the recording, and just like mishaps, and then try to restart and remember the conversations we had in the first recording. It's just like got lost and
But
lost
it wasn't
and
the
lost.
product that we bought. We bought the right we bought the right
So
product.
that's
We bought the
good.
Roadcaster 2. We bought the right.
It was the two people that wanted to start a podcast was
no,
the
I
problem.
know. But what I'm saying is we bought the right product. We bought the Roadcaster 2. We had the right product. We had the absolute right product, the best product that we could have, but we just didn't know how to use it. So
Right.
that's why we hired a friend of ours who happens to know that product and loves that product. He uses that product himself. So he said, okay, I'm going to come and I'm going to show you how to do it. And that's why we have Connor, because we didn't know how to do it. It's not the product, it was us. We didn't know what to do. The product is amazing.
I'm glad
Roadcaster
that was
2
purchased.
is the right product to use. Anyone wants to start a podcast needs to use the Roadcaster 2, for
Okay.
sure.
They need to
For
send
sure.
over some money as well, sounds like. So that's what it's about? Is he calling it road?
This is the whole
Caster?
thing that puts
Yes.
it together.
This is the
and
mixing board here. So this is where all the mic inputs go into, and then it pushes it to one signal to go into my computer.
And have you seen more sophisticated pieces?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
the real
mean, no, this is the
professional podcast.
the best thing you can buy.
you can edit all this out, but we might need some,
This is an
money
amazing.
coming in.
This
Thank
is an
you.
amazing piece of equipment.
Well, no,
for
that-
what we're
Let him
doing.
talk. Let him
Okay,
talk.
but that's what the seller told us. The Roadcast is the simplest way that you can go in and doing a
be
podcast
efficient.
to be efficient and give you everything that you want. And he got the headphones, he got the everything else together to hook into the Rode system.
And the Shure
Nice.
mics.
The headphones feel
Sure
comfortable
mics,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah, those are nice studio headphones. Yeah.
Good job, Cynthia and Cal.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I'm glad Connor's here to
Well, we need
set
Connor.
things straight.
Well, okay. Do
Thank
we
you
have
guys for
anything
tuning
else
in.
to
No,
go?
I think we're all good. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
Okay, I want to just say thank you for listening
Thanks for
to
hanging
the
out.
comfort zone. And I want to say goodbye to Cynthia, the love of my life.
I feel like I'm going to be at a grave
Goodbye.
site soon.
But especially goodbye to Connor,
That sounds like murder.
our director and producer, and especially for our newest friend, Jennifer.
Thank you so
And
much
thank
for
you
having
for being on our podcast.
Thank you,
for coming.
Jennifer.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for listening, guys.
If you are experiencing painful thoughts or are in need of support, please reach out to someone. Your mental well-being is important to us. Mental health services are free and available to you. You have value and you are worthy of kindness and help. Reach out and talk. For 24/7 free and confidential assistance, call or text the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988, or call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-8255.